Hello, Freedom Guy 55 here again. I guess I wanted to actually give another movie review. I had just seen The Hangover 2 or Hangover Part 2, and for anybody who sees this, this is a movie that basically you're either going to like it or you're not. I mean, that's pretty much how this movie is pretty much set up to be. I thought that the original was actually much more set up for pretty much all audiences. I mean, most people could actually get used to the jokes and the subject matter and such like that was in the original film. But in this film, I think that they kind of amped it up. That there are going to be people that are either mostly going to disagree with this film or mostly going to agree with this film. But as far as this goes, basically we find the guys again going through the same ordeal, but this time Stu, the character with the glasses, he's played by Ed Helms. Well, Ed Helms' character is getting married this time, the dentist mainly. And he's getting married to a Thai woman, so they wind up actually going to Thailand to get married. And then, of course, things ensue, and then they have like drinks, a drink mainly, outside a bonfire on a beach one night. And they have it also with Stu's soon-to-be bride's brother, basically named Teddy, played by Mason Lee. I believe that's his name, last name at least. Anyway, and then of course after that they wind up waking up in a kind of hotel in Bangkok, and they have to figure out what the hell's going and what hell happened last night again. So, and as much as anything else, I did like most of the comedy in this film, but at the same time, I thought that it was more into the beginning to the middle of the film than I thought it was into gradually getting into the end. So I thought that the setup and everything within the characters and how they actually built everything was really well done, and how they got all the characters back together again and so on was actually really well done. Everybody had a kind of equal presence, and the characters were back, and it felt really kind of good. But then until after, when they kind of wake up into the hotel, then it starts kind of declining a little bit. I found that they actually concentrated too much on other jokes and outrageous things than they concentrated on others. I thought that they concentrated more on the jokes that were surrounding taboo subject matter, like visual dick jokes. And it got really repetitive on that. And then they were concentrating on, say, other kind of wild antics that could have been equally funny, but were not. And I found that kind of really bad about the film. And it kind of kept on doing that. I also thought that they actually concentrated on Stu's character, or Stu, Ed Helms' character, way too much, and I kind of took out Bradley Cooper quite a bit more in this film than the original film. And then at the end, of course, the ending itself was really, I think, rushed and didn't have nearly as much of an impact as the original. Especially when they have a little moment that's actually equal, well, not really equal, but a moment where Stu yells and, of course, is trying to instigate a fight and so on with the father-in-law because he's a jerk for most of the film. But it didn't nearly have as much of an impact as the original because the stepfather just didn't remain a jerk, and of course, he couldn't for the film. So I wasn't really cheering for Stu at that time compared to the original film, where I was actually cheering for him when he was, yelling at his would-be fiancée in the original film, of course. There is a redeeming factor at the end of the movie where Alan, or Zach Galifianakis' character, gives a present to Stu, which is Ed Helms' character. And I think that ending, that ending kind of in some ways redeems it a little bit, but not too much, but not enough. Anyway, I will have to give one thing to this movie and one thing alone, and that is that it was the first time I actually saw a kind of transsexual, transvestite hooker with full frontal nudity, pre-op from the waist down and post-op from the waist up, or what is pretty much known as a chick with a dick. I could have done without that, but you know, in some ways the scene is kind of a little funny. But as far as anything else, because of the gradual decline of the comedy within the film, as it progresses, I have to give this movie kind of a thumbs down for it. It's not as good as the original. It's good to see once, but not really as good as you can, as good as basically I was hoping for, mainly. So anyway. So thumb down, and I'm sorry for anybody else who likes it, but this is a movie that you're either going to like it or you're not. Anyway, I guess I'll end on that. And I thank you for your time, and have a nice day.